We give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hand in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. 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 Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed.
So lovely. Kev Choice, Lukeman Frank, and our sound engineer, Jimmy Tuzel. Thank you all so much. What a lovely way to start the day. Good morning, you all, and happy Mother's Day. Big hugs and love to all the moms, mom figures, god moms, mom energy in the room and with us virtually. We honor you and bless you. And a little quick comment about Mother's Day. A number of years ago, I learned that Mother's Day has its origins in anti-war activism. So check it out. Mother's Day for Peace was what the first Mother's Days were called, when mothers were tired of watching their children, at that time their young men, die in senseless violence. So while we celebrate the lovely, nurturing, softer qualities of motherhood, today let's also celebrate the warrior moms who are fighting for a better world for our children everywhere. Okay, so I'll back up and get back on script. I'm Rain Dugan. I'm your host today, and we'll start as we do by respectfully acknowledging that here in the Bay Area, we gather on the traditional land of the indigenous Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded these lands for countless generations. Welcome you all to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. A special welcome to anyone joining us for the first time. If you are here for the first time and you can raise your hand, we have wonderful. We have a whole family here for the first time. We have gifts for all of you and ushers somewhere to bring them to you momentarily. And a big welcome to anyone joining us via YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Welcome, hello. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can learn more about all the fun things we do here at the Oakland Center. Now let's take a moment to bless our children wherever they are. You can read along with me. We bless all our children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. We know the truth of who you are. You are unique expressions of God, and we are grateful to have you in our lives. And so it is. A few announcements. Masks are now recommended instead of required, and we strongly suggest masking in the prayer room due to closer seating. Please pay attention to fraudulent emails that have been circulating. Check out information on the slide and in the Village News. Reverend Sally Bartholomew has a brief announcement about the class Exploring Aramaic Teaching of Jesus.
Good morning, everyone. Place your hand on your heart and repeat after me. Abun Dabashmaya. That is the first line of the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. And so the class that I am teaching on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 5 is exploring Jesus' words in his original mother tongue, which is Aramaic. And in doing this, we are opening to the sacred unity that he taught that is so in line with our Science of Mind principles. So I invite you to join us. It is drop-in at any time. Sign up on the class page so that you can get the Zoom link. Abun Dabashmaya.
So cool. Thank you, Sally. More good stuff happening. Next Wednesday, May 17th, Judith Roberts will be joining us to follow up from Sunday today and continue the discussion on unlearning the fear of darkness. Meditation begins at 6:30 and service at 7 via Zoom. Remember to sign up for 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life with Reverend Jerry Carter before May 19th to get the early registration price of $199. Everyone who has taken this class with Reverend Jerry has raved about it, so don't miss out. A kind reminder is to sign up for Living the Science of Mind book study, facilitated by Tom Rose and Aikya Param. Classes run from May 20th to June 24th from 10 to 11 on Zoom, and a love offering is appreciated. You can sign up to get the Zoom link. And Diversity Circle meets on May 26th at 7 p.m. discussing transforming community. Check out their page on the website. Now, please stand if you're able and willing, and we'll read the vision and mission statement. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. So it is. Have a great service and a great Mother's Day.
Good morning. My name is Eliza, and I am a licensed practitioner here, and I have a couple of readings for you today. The first is by Ernest Holmes. Sitting in the shadow, we may not really believe that there is any sunshine, but the sun would be there all the time. It is there, but we must awaken to it. And from Rebecca Solnit, leave the door open for the unknown, the door into the dark. That's where the most important things come from, where you yourself come from, and where you will go. So let's take a breath together. And I know that there is really only one power. That power is God. That is what I call it today. You may call it something else. God, goddess, sweetness, Papa. It has many names, and it is unknowable to know all that it is. But I am accepting that all that God is right here today, blessing our service, blessing the words of Reverend Sunshine as she speaks to us about the dark and the light, and releasing any fears we have, and knowing the goodness of God is present here today. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of those participating in the service, our speaker, Reverend Sunshine, the musicians, the ushers, the tech team, everyone present here today, and anyone who wishes to be here, all those who are online. We are being blessed by this service today, hearing the words that uplift us and bring us greater knowledge of ourselves and our connection with the One. And so I know this service is done in the mind of God. It is good and very good. I give thanks for it. I release this to the law, and it is so, and so it is. Now our musicians.
In my pain, there inside my weakness is a seed of something greater, a seed of something in me. And the shame of not choosing higher, and all the disappointing moments fade into that. No mistakes have been made in God. All the ways that we seem to fail in all God fades, all fades into God. No choice, a prisoner of anguish, in a jail of I'm so lonely, a jail of all is lost, but the stars are shining to remind us a seed will need the darkness to change into new life. No mistakes have been made in God. All the ways that we seem to fail in God, all fades. It all fades into God. Yeah. In God is the gravity that holds me together. In God is the orbit in which I am spinning. I see the stars and I remember to remember. Inside my pain is the seed of my strength. In God is a gravity that holds me together. In God is the orbit in which I am spinning. I see the stars and I remember to remember. Inside my pain is the sick of my strength. God is my life. In God is such excellence. All the ways that we seem to fail in God, our faith in God, our faith in God, our faith in God, our faith. No mistakes have been made in God. All the ways that we seem to fail in God, all fades. It all fades into God. It all fades into God.
That is who? Luke Monfrank. Luke Monfrank. And that is who? Kev Choice. Say it again. Say it again. Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. So much. I see some faces out there that I want to smile at. All y'all I want to smile at. I'm happy today. I'm happy every day because we get to be here with another breath, right? Welcome back. Hey. I want to acknowledge that this is Mental Health Awareness Month. I want to acknowledge that this is American Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So let's just give our people, our family a hand who are in these spectrums. We send you love and well-being and blessings. And I welcome all of you. Thank you, Rain, for wherever she went. There she is, for opening the door to the Mother's Day. celebration. I like the way you did that. And I want to call out all mothers, all expectant mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, godmothers, caregivers, mother figures, aunties, auntie cousins. I have a younger cousin that I feel like I'm his auntie cousin. That's something I adopted. And I want to just acknowledge you. If you feel like you are a mother of sorts, if you're willing and able, will you stand? Please stand so we can acknowledge you. And if you're not able to stand, raise your hand. Let's give them some love. Yay. Thank you so much. You may be seated. And those of you who are seated, if you see someone around you that stood, be sure and welcome them and thank them for their service to life and for that mothering, nurturing. And I also want to honor the mothers who have stepped over to the other side. How many of you have mothers and grandmothers on the other side? Right? A lot of us. So let's just take a moment in our hearts to send them love. They're here with us. Blessed be. Thank you for that. Before I get started on the talk, I always try to bring my own thanks to this community. It takes a lot to make this community work, and I'm so grateful. Yeah, I said auntie cousin, and I see my cousin now that I said that about. Hey, see, I tell on myself, when I'm up here, but yay for my family sitting in that row back there. I want to thank everybody for being here and for what you do. And at the end of the service, the pulpit assistant gives some thanks, and I want to be sure that I add my thanks, because we have people who come here early and they open the doors and turn the lights on. We don't exactly need the heat on these days, but they used to do that too when it was time, or start the coffee. Like, thank you, Craig and Amy, for doing that. And some folks who open up with other things, and some people who stay afterwards and close, and people bring snacks and they clean up. And there's youth and family that take care of our kids, the bookstore, the greeters, the practitioners, the AV team, the music folks, the hosts and the announcers. Thank you. The people who teach the classes, our staff and janitorial, the board of trustees. And did I miss somebody? Any categories? Call it out. Anything else? I said the practitioners, we can say it again. That's all. But listen, any of you who help make this community, you may be here for the first time and saying, she's just going on and on and on. But listen, I invite you back. And if you're going to stay here for a minute, maybe you'll be in service too, because it's a part of our giving to life. So I want y'all to know that you're all valued, you're loved and appreciated. Let's give them some love. So what we're working on this month is light within the shadows. That's why our readings talked about the shadows. That's why the music was what it was. And I like to do call and response, which means I say something, and if you feel inspired, you say it back to me. So we're talking about today, unlearning fear of the dark. And what I'll get into is the divine mother principle, is that womb space, that creative space. And so that's on my spirit. So here's the call and response. She is waking up into her power. She is waking up into her power. I am waking up into my power. I am waking up into my power. We are waking up into our power. Yes, you can't say that and just sit still, can you? You got to smile, or you got to tap your foot, or you got to wiggle from side to side, because it wakes you up. That's what we're doing. We're waking up today, unlearning the fear of the dark. So last week I mentioned that our society trains us to be afraid of the dark. We're trained and we're well trained. That's what we're here to unlearn. Because in our metaphysical belief in the science of mind principles, We believe that we can discover those hidden beliefs that hold us back from our goodness in life and apply our spiritual principles so that we can replace it with something that's productive and that helps us get to where we are. And if we're leading from fear, we're not going to get there. Guess where we'll get? We'll get in a place with more fear, won't we? If we're focusing on fear, you better believe we're going to stay in fear. And so if we flip that, I'm big on the flip it principle, then we can springboard into a different place. And that darkness and the light, we always focus on the light. But did you know we were created and we gestated in the dark? It's dark in there, in a mother's womb. And a baby knows that that's a safe place. That's a warm, cozy, nurturing place. I suspect it didn't want to come out into the light. It's like, do I have to? But it's growing out of that tiny place, and sometimes don't we grow out of those tiny places? And this is where if we close our eyes, just close your eyes for a moment. And what do you see? You may see something from your imagination. You may see light that's reflected in. And then you may see darkness. And this is where we meditate from. This is where we get our stillness. This is where we can tap into the infinite wellspring of life. Thank you for closing your eyes with me. And you know, we're in a westernized culture, so we have to watch that, you know, because we get taught some things that are not healthy. We have to unlearn that. You know, I had a bit of a debate. I wasn't as strong as I am now. I had a debate with a psychologist some years ago as I was beginning my doctoral studies, and I was telling him that authenticity is my thing, right? That we need to kind of peel and look and discover and unlearn some things like I just told you. And he said, oh, you can't unlearn anything. He was emphatic. He said, you can't unlearn it. He probably was right, you know? From a psychology perspective, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Once it's imprinted, it's there. But from a metaphysical, spiritual view, I beg to differ. I could probably challenge him right now and have a pretty deep conversation. Even though I knew my principles then, but he was just so emphatic on his view. But it's not a right and wrong with that. We can allow ourselves to let go of that old stuff that does not serve. You know, I've even been a little cautious about saying release things that don't serve, because guess what? Things that appear negative in your life may really be serving you, helping you to discover more of who you are. Amen. Even if it brings pain or discomfort. But at the time, we abhor it. We don't want that. But if we're open, then we get to see and reflect back on that. You know, those dark places, those hard times were some of the best times in my life. I wouldn't have gotten to where I am had I not been there. Anybody felt like that before? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me tell on myself a little more. You know, I'm big on, I have permission to do that, so I can tell on my own self, right? So I've mentioned that the last couple of years, I've come out of some darkness that was rich and fertile. And I remember early in this time, you know, the pandemic showed us a lot of things. I remember early in this time, I woke up, I processed through my sleep. I guess all of us do, but my intuition really shows me a lot in my sleep. And I remember waking up. It was almost like it was emblazoned right here. And here's what it was. Lost. I felt lost. It was over my whole countenance. And it just knocked me off my game. It's like, what do I do with that? Lost. And then as I, so I tried to breathe into it, and I said that word try. Y'all stop me if you hear me say try. I'm replacing try in my vocabulary, okay? So you try that too. See, I just said try. It's difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna do it, right? And so I intended to simply put prayer on it and just breathe into it and ride the wave. And it was really kind of rocky because I kept feeling this sense of being lost. You know, when you're lost, it's like sometimes when you're lost, you just feel, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on? I don't have any faith. What's happening? Anybody in here felt lost like that? So I'm not by myself. Then, within that time frame, I was busy in my sleep. I woke up and guess what happened? I felt strong sense. I'm not one that dreams with vivid imagery, right? But I'm sorry, the camera person just really wants me to stay put. It's hard for me to stay put. Sorry, live streamers, I'm a mover. That's what she told me. You're one of those, you're a mover. I felt like I fell off my horse. That's what was on my spirit. I felt like I fell off the horse. Now, I'm not a horseback rider, okay? But it was metaphorical. I fell off the horse. I had already felt lost, and now I've fallen off the horse. Oh, my. And what chased behind it? Humiliation. I was totally humiliated. It was just all over my countenance. I was humiliated. Then I woke up one day. Some of y'all have heard me talk about a continuum. I draw in the sky, right? This continuum. If fear is on this side, you transmute it into faith. So they're on the same continuum. On this continuum there was humiliation. Guess what was on the other side of it? That's what I saw in my mind. Humility. I woke up with that. Humiliation and humility, they're very different. And I was thinking, they're not even a part of the same word stream. They're not a part of the same construct. So why am I feeling this? I prefer humble instead of humility. It's the same thing, but humiliation. Then I realized that when I am feeling humiliated because I fell off this horse, I had to look at my own arrogance in that metaphor. Because if you're a rider and you're riding this horse and all of a sudden you fall off the horse where you think you're a master at it, you're humiliated. And you feel bad about it because you're arrogant, perhaps, because I know what I'm doing. I got this. So then I had to deal with being, my arrogance. I was humiliated having to deal with my arrogance. And the way to do that is to be humble, is to accept that it's okay. Get up. It's okay that you fell off. Forgive yourself. It's okay. You can learn and do better next time. It's okay. So I'm letting you into this process because this was a dark time. And I had to unlearn my resistance to feel these things in order to move through them. Are you listening? Because if you are, there's a lesson in here for you, I guarantee you, that you can apply to your own life. I had to release my arrogance with humility and being humble in order to let it be okay that I wasn't on the horse. And that took some time. It really did. It took time for me of going to my practitioner, of praying through it, of talking to my mastermind group about it, of working through it, because I didn't try to do it, I did it. I was doing it. That's why I'm eliminating the word try. So eventually, as I kept at it, without me even knowing it, I was talking to my practitioner, telling her about some small wins I was having, And she said, well, it sounds to me like you're back up on the horse. I didn't think of that on my own because it wasn't like I really put the effort to get back on the horse. Metaphorically, remember. However, it happened through this smooth process of letting myself surrender into the dark space and asking it what it had to tell me. If we work with it, it will show us. What's beneath the layers that we need to get rid of? What are the hidden beliefs that we need to assess and to reassess and to reprogram so that we experience something else? How can we ride through those dark times? It was so poignant that I can now look back at that time and say, wow, look at where I got to. And as some of you know, I wrote the talk titles for this month, Light Within the Shadows. And it dawned on me that as I was going through those dark times, Spirit gave me this opportunity to write about it, and I couldn't write about it unless I was processing through it. And I got to the other side. You know, in this society, we pay money to have people scare us. We like to be frightened. People go to haunted houses and scary movies are a big ticket item. They make a lot of money. Why? Because we like to be frightened and scared, and then when we have nightmares and we're still building on the paradigm of the scary monsters that we learned about when we were little, we wonder why. How come I'm still experiencing this? Take a look at what you're letting into your life that's perpetuating this sense of darkness that is to be feared. I remember a time when I was growing up. I'm a native of the Bay Area, and we had family friends in Fresno, not far from here, right in the Central Valley. And the family there, the local family, we would all go, and all the families would get together, and they owned funeral homes, or at least one, right? So there's different age of kids, and one of the older kids, a young adult kind of, took us, I'm not sure why, on a tour of the funeral home. Go figure. And, I can think back to that very moment because it felt spooky and it felt eerie. And he played on that because he played tricks on us. He knew the layout of the funeral home and everything and where we were, and he would play tricks on us because he knew we were already scared. What are we afraid of? Let's look at those things and see how they're playing into today's fears. One other quick story. There's a lot around death that we perhaps may have been trained because people don't understand death and they fear it. And so I remember when I was little, couldn't have been more than 4, one of my favorite great aunts died. And I didn't know where she went, and nobody could really tell me. That felt satisfying. And I just remember being upset because everybody else was upset. And she wasn't coming back. And eating a box of vanilla wafers. Just eating myself to, I don't like vanilla wafers to this day. Have you ever done that where you just, saturate yourself? So we have to watch how we behave and where that comes from. So I traced it back to fear of death. Look at that. And then I can do work on it. These things leave imprints on our consciousness. And if we are willing to take a look, then we can see what's under the hood and we can clean that stuff up so that we can step into the light. That's where the darkness partners with us, with the light. Rebecca Solnit, as was in the reading, I brought the book, but I left it over there. Anyway, it's okay, I don't need it. I wanted to add one of, it's called A Field Guide to Getting Lost. Remember I talked about lost? Well, I discovered this book, loved the book, because she talks about intentionally getting lost. If you intentionally let yourself get lost, you'll be found. What does that mean? You'll be lost in that regard. You have to surrender yourself. You know, we like to control things. If we let go and let ourselves get lost, then we will discover more about ourselves. That's what she's talking about. Here's what she says. That thing, the nature of which is totally unknown to you, is usually what you need to find. And finding it is a matter of getting lost. It's beautiful. And so this loss, this sense of being lost, when we can, you know, I was aware of the book when I had Lost blazoned, but I felt so lost. And then eventually I remembered Rebecca Solnit, so I went and got my book and started reading that. We have to have resources and things that are going to help us move past, move through what we feel is holding us back. Peel, uncover, discover, and recover. I told you about the putter process. What's in there? How has it been serving me? And how can I let it go? That's what this womb space, this creative space is about. You know, I was in the car wash yesterday. I went to Vallejo to visit my mother. I love this car wash. I wish we had one like that here. Anybody know of I think it was called the bubble machine or something or another. You know, when you put your car in neutral and it rolls through and all the wipers and water and stuff goes. And so I went there. They hand wash it though, so it's the both of them. But I was thinking about this topic as my car was kind of beginning to go through with the water coming in, and then, you know, those big sponge things come down on it. What if, if you're a kid and you see that for the first time, that might be exciting eventually, but at first it might freak you out. It's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? You know, and the big sponge things came on top of the car and it kept moving, and then water was skirting and soap was skirting, and I'm thinking, wonder if this is kind of like what happens on the inside. Maybe in the soil when a plant is growing, you know, maybe there's a squirt of this and a squirt of that and the nutrients from the sun and all this stuff to help it be its best. What if? You know, I turn everything into a metaphor, so that's why I brought you that one. So the divine mother principle, let me turn to that, because the divine mother principle is within all of us. We honor mothers. That sun is really shining back there. I hope y'all can see me because I can barely see you. Anyway, it's all good. The light, welcome the light. So there is the feminine and the masculine. We know that, right? There's a Chinese symbol. Do we have that up there? The yin and the yang, that one right there. It's the circle, and in the middle is a swirl, and equally, there are two different colors. It's the yin and the yang. It's the masculine and the feminine that are a part of all of us. And we are honoring today the divine feminine within us, that divine mother principle, that space of nurturing, and that space where the darkness gives birth to the light. The darkness gives birth to the light. Maggie, you're so sweet. Thank you for doing that. It did. Just beautifully. See what community does? Thank you so much. And so the two work together, and it dawned on me to bring that into this talk, that I believe the divine masculine, or the masculine at least, has been oversaturated. So there has not been balance like it is in that yin-yang symbol. And that is where we are in this lifetime that we are in the rise of the feminine. Because that masculine has been dominating. They both have value. But when one overshadows the other, then you don't get the benefit of the both. And that's where we are. So we want to have balance within ourselves, balance in society of the masculine and the feminine. So whatever calibration needs to happen to bring this one, if they're like this, to bring this down and to let this rise so that it can come into equilibrium and that there's harmony and joy and balance for all. Isn't that what we need? If we did, we'd be in a bit of a different place. That's what we need, that calibration process. So where, I ask you, within you, do you need to calibrate? What is it within you that you need to examine to help you be your best that you can be? And here's the thing, don't feel bad about it, whatever it is. Let it be good. Just witness it. Like the example I gave you of being lost. When I let go of the floundering because I'm lost and I've fallen off the horse and I'm humiliated and I'm frustrated and whatever. When you give up the floundering and you relax and say, with curiosity and wonderment, tell me what you have for me. What do you have to offer me? And lean into it. You will get the answer. And then it will tell you how to come into balance with yourself. And that's where the healing happens. And when we look at unlearning, remember that psychologist that said, no, you can't unlearn. You hear me say, repeating after what I heard Dr. Margaret Stewart say, once you know, you can never not know again. That's a form of, and so it's like, well, what's the difference? Isn't that kind of like, how would you unlearn that? What she was talking about, here's the difference. Once you know that there is something outside of yourself that is bigger than you are, you can never not know that again. It's that you can't not know. Because it's seated in you. It's seated in you. You can try to ignore it. You can try to erase it, and you can't. Because once that awakening happens, you know. So it's up to us to lean into it, to open up to it, to say, welcome, come, I surrender. And then we get our answer. Ernest Holmes said, change your thinking, change your life, right? That's how you do this. This is straight science of mind principle that I'm teaching right now. Change your thinking and change your life. This mothering principle within us is nurturing intuition and wisdom. Don't worry, Father's Day is coming. We'll be talking about the masculine and that other side, because we need both, and it's within us. Remember I told you that many people have been raised to say, men don't cry, shouldn't cry. I bet you there's some folks out there right now that believe that. And I'm here to challenge you. As humans, is that true? Or is that a construct that somebody built up that's based on arrogance and the need to dominate in whatever way? So as I bring this to a close, I want to invite you to your own healing, should you be willing. Because it's a choice. You don't have to. You can stay right where you are. I choose to allow myself to grow constantly, to be the best that I can be. That's what I believe that God created me as. If we believe that God is unlimited potential, and we are made from that same God stuff, then that must mean that we are of unlimited potential. And are we living up to it? That's what I would ask you. So as we bring this to a close into prayer, I invite the practitioners and the ministers to surround the congregation and stand if you would like. It's a way to hold consciousness. It's a visual symbol for us. Practitioners and ministers live streaming, I invite you to stand right where you are. And those of you in the audience, I really simply want you to open your heart in prayer. So as we either let our eyes look at the beautiful flowers or a stained glass window or fall closed, what we know is that God is all there is. There is nothing else, regardless of appearances. Thank you, Susan, for bringing the prayer box up. That there is only this one power, this one presence, this one life, this one breath, this one love, as Bob Marley would say. That is here, there, and everywhere. It simply is, and we tap into it right now. And know that it is in every single thing, including us, and especially in all life forms, and even inanimate forms, that it vibrates through us as our own unique signature, our own flavor, style, size, shape, whatever color, whatever identification that we choose to identify with and beyond, is this divine creative source in action, made manifest as each one of us. And so in this space of knowing and holding the divine truth and speaking it out loud, I speak on behalf of and bless our nonprofit partner this month, Women Rising Legacy Project, and give thanks for them of how they support women to thrive in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and other places, to thrive on opportunities that help them to sustain and to nurture and grow. Giving thanks for our beautiful blue planet, Mother Earth. We bless you. We love you. We send you our love and gratitude for having us here as stewards of this earth, for blessing us and allowing us to be here with you, knowing your health and your wholeness and your well-being. Mama Gaia, we love you. Blessing our youth wherever they are, from the wee ones to the older ones, knowing that wherever they are, all over the place, all of our youth everywhere, locally and globally, nationally, wherever they are, that they grow and develop and thrive and survive and develop and show their creativity and development in wonderful ways, knowing that they have exactly what it is that they need. Blessing everyone who is in service to life this day in whatever form that takes. Those of us here who are communing together, those who are holding space and consciousness, those who are volunteering, those who are serving, those who are in need, whatever it is, we bless them and give thanks for their heart of giving. I bless all the prayer requests in this box that our practitioner Susan Brecker is holding. And I bless all of these requests, knowing that the requestor and the prayer are one, and that their need is met right now, right with whatever it is that they have requested, that they are in need of. Giving thanks for this and honor, and blessing those who are on the prayer list, who have asked for prayer, who are seeking love or comfort or wholeness or well-being or abundance, guidance, clarity, whatever it is that they need. I know they already have. Knowing this for Helene Hurton, Susan Brecker's sister, surrounding her in love and well-being right now. Knowing this for Miss Rita, Peggy Cotton's mother, our elder who is plus 100 years, sending her love and joy and health and abundance. Blessing Maggie Domask, Joni McCloskey, Blessing the family of Sophie, Andy, Griffin, and Truly, knowing that right where they are, God is and all is well regardless of appearances. And blessing Reverend Sally Bartholomew and her family, her sister Katie, in healing and revealing and recovery and peace of mind for her entire family, including Tim, Richard, and Lance. Blessing Judith Frauenglass, Dr. Judith. I bless Troy right there in Los Angeles. And I bless those who are sick and shut in, who need love. We beam them love right now, love and wellness and wholeness or whatever it is that they may need, surrounding them right there. And we bless all of our mothers this day, mothers, grandmothers, and all those I named earlier, lifting them up, showing them guidance and love and compassion for all that they do in life. Blessing our world in peace overflowing, peace and abundance where there are signs of war, abundance and wholeness and health in the face of illness, blessing those with guidance that need it. Whatever our world needs, whether it's city, county, province, country, state, wherever it is, that we all can work together in harmony and love and joy. Blessing those who have made their transition. Blessing our practitioner, Dylan McClintock's mother, Ruth, as she has stepped over to the other side, and blessing Dylan and his family with peace and comfort. Blessing Sherry Kramer, in the memory of her dog, Callie Rose, knowing that we hold Callie and Sherry both in the loving arms of Spirit as we wrap our love and healing around them. And now is our time where I open up the doors of this prayer for everyone in the sound of my voice, including those watching the recording, to speak your own name out loud. Even if you don't have a prayer request, speak your name out loud. I invite you to, in this prayer vortex of love, and anyone else that you are praying for, speak it out loud, knowing that as we do so, that there is a vibration that the name is riding on the wings of, that is co-created from this prayer that I am uttering from the sound of my voice, that the practitioners and are holding up in consciousness and knowing that it is already done, that God knows what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so we simply take our hands off. And we breathe into the knowingness. We breathe into the truth, knowing that it is already happening. And so in gratitude and thanksgiving, I am so grateful to know that this is the truth, that this is the light in the midst of the darkness, and they work together. And so I cast this word of truth up into the divine ethers of love and law, knowing that it is activated, knowing that it showers us with blessings of manifestation and truth right here, right now, and forevermore. Praise God. Praise God for this. And we let it be. We let it be. And let us declare together with power. And so it is. And so it is. Yes, it is. Amen. Thank you. Prayer box, Susan, the practitioners, the ministers, thank you, everyone, for your consciousness. Yay. And now is our time of conscious giving. Yay. We like to give because, you know, we're participating in the law of circulation when we do. And so we're going to bless our offering. We'll show you the ways that you can give. But even as you prepare it, we're going to bless it. Hold it over your heart, whatever it is of your intention to give. And let us say together our affirmation, joyously I give, with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. And so the ways that we can give are, there's envelopes in the seat pockets where you can give cash or checks. You can also go on, those of you online, open up another tab and go to oaklandcsl.org. Those of you can remember that here if you want to give online. And then you go to donate, And when you do that, it shows you ways to donate, either through credit card, through Zelle, through text to give, and we are going to invite you up so that those of you in the sanctuary can come up and participate in the joyous giving by putting it in the basket. And this is our way to touch that space of circulation and abundance and tell Spirit, yes, I'm ready. I am ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, let's be ready to give and receive. Come on forward. Thank you so much.
The song is honoring our ancestors who are still shining their light on us through all the darkness, reminding us to represent light, represent life.
I love your energy. I love yours.
Bless the people with the positivity. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Conscious of the way I spread my energy. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Lead with love, represent peace. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Even on my downfalls and my faults, I know the ancestors smiling on me. To shine like a galaxy, shine like a galaxy. Through all the darkness, darkness. Through all the darkness, darkness. Couldn't keep me from my destiny. They keep telling me, represent light, represent life. Represent light, represent life. Represent light, represent life. Bless the people with the positivity. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Conscious of the way I spread my energy. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Lead with love, represent peace. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Even on my downfalls, on my faults, I know the ancestors smiling on me. Shining like a galaxy, shine like a galaxy. Through all the darkness, darkness. Through all the darkness, darkness. Couldn't keep me from my destiny. They keep telling me, represent light, represent life. 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 Represent light, represent your light, your light. Represent light, represent your light, your light. Represent light, represent your light, your light. Represent light, represent life. 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 Light. Represent your light. Represent light, 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 light. Represent light, 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 life. Bless the people with the positivity. I know the ancestors smiling on me. Thank you very much. Represent light.
Thank you so much to Lukman Frank and Kev Choice. Wow. And I'm thanking my ancestors, all the ones that brought me here to this moment today. We're just full of gratitude today. I'm grateful to be here and grateful to serve. And I want to appreciate everyone and give thanks to all that brought this service together. Reverend Sunshine, Michelle, beautiful talk. Thank you. Give her some love. And to our musicians, who I already spoke to, thank you to our musicians. And The practitioners, after this service, will be available to pray with you in the back. So join us there. And there are other ways. You can request prayer in the prayer box. Write out your request. I think you can still call on the phone, too. And there's a message direct to the prayer ministry. And some practitioners can give you a longer session than you would have after the service. You can go into the social hall and see their names and how to contact them. Let's see, I think that's about it for the ways to pray, but who knows? Maybe there's something else I forgot. And I want to remind everyone to exit after the service, and you can come back to the prayer room. And once again, thank you to our tech team, everyone that is making this service possible, and all of you for bringing your consciousness for our dark and the light and going through it. So now we get to have our affirmation. Oh, right, I'm supposed to remind you, you can visit with the minister out in the courtyard or the social hall, and to visit our bookstore. I don't know if that book that Reverend Sunshine spoke about is there about. She says we're going to get it. Soulnet, that's the name of the author. So, closing affirmation should be up there. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through universal mind, which is the law of God, that we are surrounded by the creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. And so it is.
Let's give thanks and honor one more time again for all the mothers and the mother energy in the space. Thank you. We appreciate you. You know, my mother transitioned about over 10 years ago, and that was around the time that I came into the Science of Mind community, so it kind of helped me through a very difficult time. And I actually had a breakdown this morning just thinking about my mother was my biggest fan. She would be at every show. She would be at every performance. And just want to call her into the space and just give thanks for how she inspired me and my grandmother and aunties, you know, also just bringing me to church every Sunday. That's one of my fondest memories of just sitting next to my grandmother at church and my mother reading scripture. So again, honoring all the mothers in the space. My mother loves soul music, so we're going to dedicate this to her and all of the, like I said, the beautiful mother energy in this space. We give thanks. We give thanks. Oh, don't go talk about my mother. God is my friend. God made the world for us to live in and gave us everything. And all God asks of us is we give each other love, love, love. Oh, don't go talking about my sister. 'Cause God is my friend. God loves us whether or not we know it, and gives us everything. And all God asks of us is we give each other love. Love your mother, love your father, love your sister, love your brother, oh, love your mother, love your father, love your sister and your brother. Oh, don't go talking about my mother. God is my friend. God made the world for us to live in and gave us everything. And all God asks of us, oh baby, is we give each other love. All God asks of us, hey yeah, is we give each other love. All God asks of us is we give each other love. Give each other love. Give thanks. Have a beautiful day. Give thanks. Give thanks. Ashe.